Greetings, everyone. First of all, I want to say a happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. And look, this is something that our ancestors and our elders and many people today of all backgrounds, young and old, have fought for this recognition. And it's extremely important that we acknowledge that, because I saw a story today just in the Washington Post about a 94-year-old woman by the name of Opal Lee, who's been going all across the country working to get Juneteenth recognized. And we're here. People have lived to see this day. And for those people who don't know, this is the day that marks 2.5 years after the final enslaved people found out that they were free, when Gordon Geringer marched into Galveston, Texas, and announced that these enslaved people who did not know that they were freed by the Emancipation Proclamation had indeed been freed. So this is why this day is here, for those who don't know. Obviously, many of us who are in same circles that I run in, we've been involved in Juneteenth and celebrating Juneteenth all of our lives, and we know that the country has been a little bit behind in getting to this day and getting to acknowledge this day, and it's extremely important. I want to also say, though, that after we're done with the celebration, we have to make sure that we keep the eyes focused on legislation and making the necessary changes that we need in this country so that our people can stop being oppressed through some of these sanctioned police state activities. Many people are already saying, as we knew what happened, because we know history and we knew this was going to happen. People are, when we say, well, we need the George Floyd policing bill now, we need the anti-lynching bill now, we already hear people saying, well, you got Juneteenth, what else do you want? You got Martin Luther King Day, what else do you want? Look, recognition is great. Commemorations are great, but we need legislation. That's what we need right now. And there are a lot of people out there who feel like, well, black folks are just always going to be looking for a need to party. Just let them get out there and let them celebrate. Nah, we celebrate after we get our victories. And so I celebrate with everybody who's celebrating today, because, again, this is something that we worked hard for, to get this national recognition. But look, at the end of the day, we need an anti-lynching bill. How do you have over two, and to be quite honest, if I had to pick between what was going to get signed last week by President Biden, it'd be the anti-lynching bill all day. It'd be the George Floyd police reform bill all day. And really, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, because we need action. We need action. Over 200 attempts to get an anti-lynching bill law passed. 200 attempts, and we have not gotten there. George Floyd was lynched. Everybody thinks that all lynchings, or only hangings, are lynchings. And yes, it's true that all hangings are lynchings, but all lynchings are not hangings. When you see people, what happened with Ahmaud Arbery, when you see what happened with George Floyd and so many others, these are modern day lynchings. And to be quite honest, if we had an anti-lynching bill, we wouldn't even have needed the COVID Hate Crimes Act that was put into place. And so if we have to remember that every single day we represent our ancestors' wildest dreams, for the most part, because some of us out there aren't doing what we're supposed to be doing. And some of us and even on our best days, those who could be the most committed to the cause can make mistakes. But at the end of the day, what they would want is for us to fight to make sure that what happened to them is not legal and is not sanctioned by the state. And so on this Juneteenth, as we remember all of the people who fought for our freedoms, for us to have the ability to celebrate Juneteenth or not, right? Who fought for us to have the ability to be ourselves and live our best lives, whether we choose to or not. We owe it to them to make sure that we're fighting for the legislation, that we're fighting for police reform, that we're fighting for anti-lynching, that we're fighting for our better schools, and of course that we're fighting to make sure that voting rights are preserved. To make sure, again, as I say, that voting rights are preserved and enhanced as opposed to being taken away. Again, something else many of people in our community fought and died for and didn't ask to be killed, but went out there and did the work. So again, I say sincerely, happy Juneteenth to everybody. This is time for celebration and commemoration, but we have a lot of work to do after we go past the celebration, after we go past the commemoration. Let's pick ourselves up again come Sunday, Monday morning, wherever, and continue to fight, whether it's marching, whether it's boycotting, whether it's boycotting, whether it's pressure on senators through apps like 5Calls or whatever. Let's put up the fight and continue to fight to make sure that our next step is that legislation. Peace.